Hi, y'all. How we doing? This is your host, Rob Napoli. If you're a podcast junkie like me and you're looking for a new podcast to add to your feed, you might want to check out the Success Fundamentals podcast with my guys, Brian Goldstack and Chris Sykes, where they drop weekly episodes that cover all things success and growth. You can find the Success Fundamentals podcast on whatever platforms you enjoy listening to this podcast, The Bare Necessities. Hey y'all, how we doing? Shout out once again to Bear Nation for tuning in to another episode of the Bare Necessities podcast. I am your host, Rob Napoli. The Bare Necessities is a podcast where we sit down with entrepreneurs, ecosystem partners, and innovation folks to talk about what it takes and means to launch, create, and scale business across the world. We talk about the journey and the challenges of being entrepreneur-minded and how that translates into your journey, giving you the tools and knowledge to overcome challenges that you may be facing in your life's journey. The Bare Necessities is part of the Rise Up Media family, and we thank you for tuning in. Now, let's get into the show. Hey y'all, how we doing? I'm your host, Rob Napoli, back again for another episode of the Bare Necessities podcast. And I'd like to start off this episode today really talking to you about a few things that are going to be coming up on the pod, and a few changes and a few things and topics we're going to be covering, what I'm really excited about. But as I sit here recording this episode on Tuesday, May 24th, I realize that this is the 1 year anniversary of when the podcast launched. The episode Get to Know Your Host with Rob Napoli went live May 24th, 2021. So it's been amazing. 1 year, 58 episodes later, I have learned so much through this journey of podcasting and have absolutely loved getting to put this together. When I thought about doing a podcast for a long time, in fact, back in 16 or 17, I kind of thought, it'd be kind of fun. And around 2018, I was really thinking about it in one of the jobs I was in. And in 2019, when I co-founded Hapday Group, I was like, how do I launch podcasts? What could we talk about? What could we do? How would I do it? It took me from that point another couple of years before I finally did it. And I really knew that I wanted to talk about entrepreneurship and share amazing founder stories, but not the glorified ones, right? Founders that are pre-seed, seed stage, that are going through it right now, that are creating and launching innovative companies and innovative solutions, and talk about their journey to entrepreneurship, how they found this path. Because entrepreneurship is fucking hard, right? Starting a business and scaling it and launching it and finding product market fit and validation and growth. Do you get funding? Do you not take on funding? How do you go about doing that? And to talk about those journeys and talk about those challenges and share how those founders have overcome some of those things and some of the stuff they're still working on today. So I just want to start. All my guests, thank you so much for being a part of it. I've loved having every one of you on, and I've learned so much from it. And I'm committed to continuing this podcast, and continuing bringing and delivering great value. And so I'm really excited about the future of that. And so one of the things I want to do is I'm still going to feature great founders and share founder stories through this podcast. But I also want to get deeper into questions that I often get asked about entrepreneurship. Things like, what is innovation? How do you drive innovation? Should you take on funding? How do you go about fundraising? How do you scale go-to-market? How do you launch in a new country? What things should you be looking at? So I'm really excited. We're going to start covering those topics moving forward, have some solo episodes, bring and share kind of my views on things. As you all know, I wrote a book earlier this year called The Social Soul, all about mastering your personal professional brand. There's some trends that I've been seeing across social lately that I like, that I don't like. things around how do you grow your brand, things around why is it important to have a founder brand in entrepreneurship? How do you leverage social, right? Social is such a heavy, heavy thing, and it's a lot of work and a lot of attention. And when you're an entrepreneur founding a business, it's the last thing you think about. So how do you go about doing some of those? I want to bring in great experts to talk about things like fundraising. What does an angel look at? What should you be focused on about your business? Things of that nature. So I have a challenge for y'all. In the link of this episode is my email address. It's rob@riseupcoaching.co. Let me know what you would want to learn more about. What should I be dropping episodes on? Who should I be talking to about these challenges of entrepreneurship? We'll still highlight, like I said, a few amazing founder stories throughout the months, but I really want to focus on getting deeper into how do you scale and what major challenges or things you should know about in entrepreneurship. So I want to hear that from y'all. So I'm excited about it. You'll be seeing here in a week or two kind of a new website and rebrand. We refreshed everything. We simplified the website and the offering, simplified how to contact me and how to get in touch, and really simplified some of the things that we want to do with the pod and the business. And I've had a lot of fun, from the podcast to the book, to my LinkedIn, to my Instagram, to my website, and really bringing this all full circle and refreshing the brand. So stay tuned. That'll be launching soon. And a big shout out to my guy, Max, for helping me put that in process. And a huge shout out also to Livy, who really helped me in the early days, really driving through and leveraging some of these things with the brand and what we were able to accomplish. So stay tuned for that. I'm really excited about how that's going to look and how that's going to come out. As I sit back and kind of do a 1-year podcast review, I had a think about what has transpired already as we sit in May of 2022. We're almost at the halfway point of the year, just kind of short of that point. And a lot of things have happened this year that have required me to take a little bit of a step back. Earlier this year, in January, my grandfather passed away, and that was something that we were all prepared for and knew was kind of coming on the horizon, but still hits you hard. And the day the book launched was also the same day as the funeral. So it was a bit of a stressful time launching a book and trying to share that content while also being present for my family and being there. We all grieve in our own way. When that happened, the day that I got the call, I actually had a training session that morning, and then I had a podcast interview with my buddy Walker McKay. And after the podcast, he sent me an awesome message and said, "Rob, we all grieve in different ways. Take time to process and be there, but also, just do your thing. And I love you and appreciate you having in my life." And it was such a big message. So when I was kind of going through the launch of the book and through the funeral, it was tough, but I allowed myself to be present in both moments, to be present and proud of something that I worked really hard on for a year, but was about 3 years in the making with writing the book. And I was present, with my family and had some really awesome time to be home with them and celebrate the life of my grandfather, who was an amazing man. He was, a veteran and somebody who just taught us so many life lessons. Everything we did, he let us experience on our own and pushed me to do things even if I was uncomfortable. And that was something that I'm going to miss, but also a lesson that's carried so much growth in my life. And what that also kind of had me do is take a step back to focus on my business, focus on some of my passions. And I'm really excited about some of the stuff I get to do this summer and in the second half of the year. as I've been working on a number of projects that I've fallen in love with. One of them being my work as a trainer. I get to work with amazing growth stage companies and do management training for new managers and expert managers, and how to handle some different things. Some of the projects alongside some training and development on the back end of companies that I get to be a part of. Some strategy work. I launched a new strategy offering that I've had a blast with, of helping companies at the intersection of product, sales, and brand. So it's been fun, and I'm excited to see that evolution of things happen in the second half of the year, as well as working with some great companies and clients that are going to be doing some big things. So stay tuned on that. And so as all this stuff has been kind of happening, it's really, really allowed me to hyper focus on my mission, my cause. I really want to help impact entrepreneurs to be the best they can, and scale businesses and teach them how to do it the right way so that they have the best chance possible. And that has led into me taking a little bit of a step back from as much posting so much content on certain platforms. I'm starting to see kind of things happen and get oversaturated. One of my favorite platforms is LinkedIn, and there's some things. There's a little bit of toxicity happening there, so I've had to go through and clean some of my network and some of the content I was following, and it kind of reminds me back to the first chapter of The Social Soul. And we still use this term social selling, and I love leveraging social to build relationships, and that's what mastering your brand is all about. And I define harnessing the power of your social soul, of the power of engaging and creating intentional content in a truly authentic and transparent way. And I think that as we continue to see the platforms evolve, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and new platforms that may come out, Twitter, the way it may go through an overhaul, it's more important than ever to double down on, when you post stuff that is authentic to you and that's going to provide value, and really showing your true self always, not just posting what you think people want to hear, but showing and sharing it in a way that is impactful to others. And a lot of people are like, Rob, I don't know what to post. What do I do? Well, go learn from others. Learn from others. When you learn something or you see a post, I love that. I wish I had shared that, right? Take that and internalize it. What does that mean to me? And what does that mean to my audience? How can I take this and share it in a way that is authentically me, that also is going to help others learn or give them value in the way that they need to hear it? And that's a great way to go about sharing and showing. So this topic I'll probably cover in a later podcast episode, but really excited about the things that are happening and moving forward down the road. So as we look at the second half of the year, I'm excited about what's happening. I'm excited to continue driving the podcast and the content forward, to sharing with you great guests, great founder stories, tips and tricks around building your brand and social, tips and tricks around being an entrepreneur and how to go through these things. So please share with me. Let me know what topics you want me to cover, as we will be getting into a lot of different things the second half of the year. Stay tuned for the full rebrand coming with the website and all the assets. I'm really excited about that. And if I can be of service to you in any way, shape, or form, don't hesitate to reach out to me and let me know how I could help you. Let's get in touch. Have a cup of coffee, have a call, whatever that is. And I want to end this episode by thanking you, Bear Nation, for showing up each and every week, tuning in and listening and engaging with the content. I was looking at it earlier today, and we've had listeners from 57 countries. That's such an amazing global reach. It's something I'm so proud of. United States obviously being the biggest, but the Netherlands, Spain, Italy, and Mexico coming in the top 5, countries all around the world, from Belgium to the Philippines to South Africa and Australia, New Zealand, Lithuania, Israel, Iran, Costa Rica, Chile, Turkey, Ghana. It's been amazing. Bulgaria, Romania, Lebanon, Rwanda, Argentina, all over the place. That's just, a few, all the way out to Japan and Pakistan and Mozambique. So really thank you for those who have tuned in, listened in, downloaded. I really, really appreciate it. I'm going to be doing some traveling here this year. I went to Milan earlier this year. I've got a trip to Ireland coming up. I'm going to be in Greece for 2 weeks, and I'm going to be in Sweden for the first time. So Greece and Sweden will be new countries for me. So if I've got listeners there, it'll be September for Greece and Sweden, Ireland in July. And if you want to try to get together, grab a coffee, I'll be in Dublin, Santorini, Athens, Stockholm, and Umeå. So let me know. Happy to get together. And I'm in Brooklyn. So if you're ever coming through New York City and you listen to the pod and you want to grab a coffee or a drink or something, hit me up. Let me know. Say, hey, Rob, part of Bear Nation. Love listening to you. I'm going to be in New York City. Let's get together. Hit me on whether it's Twitter or Instagram or LinkedIn or an email. Let me know. Would love to meet y'all. Appreciate y'all for being a part of Bear Nation. I hope to continue to give you great content, great value, great episodes. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate y'all. Can't wait to see y'all. Can't wait to hear those. If you could, do me a huge, huge favor if you're listening to this episode right now. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Please go drop a 5-star review. It helps me tremendously. It helps others find this podcast. So if you think this is valuable, leave a review. So more reviews makes me rank higher, which means others can find me. So let me know. Please do that. Please help out. I appreciate y'all. Until next week's episode, stay well, rise up. Thank you for rocking with me the last year. I can't wait to show you more. Bear Nation, once again, thank you for tuning in and listening to the Bear Necessities podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave us a review. It really does help and means a lot to us, the show. And I want to thank our friends over at Fin. Fin is a social good platform that creates employee engagement and builds culture. It's our mission to support and give back to the communities that we serve around the world. And we do this by giving every guest on our show a $10 donation to the cause of their choosing using the Fin platform. Until next time, thank y'all, stay well, and rise up. If you hadn't already heard about it, or you don't already know, my new book, The Social Soul, How to Master Your Personal and Professional Brand with Intentionality and Authenticity, is out now. You can find it on Barnes & Noble or Amazon. Go check it out, purchase a copy, let me know what you think, leave me a review. I appreciate y'all for the support. Can't wait to hear from you what stood out the most.